Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? Welcome to A Day with Abdul. I hope you are well. This is an episode where I'm gonna cook a little bit, so keep that in mind. But I'm glad to be back after a little bit of a slowdown in producing some videos. And today I'm coming to you by producing one of my favorite recipes, or sorry, cooking it. I don't know why I said producing. But I'm gonna cook for you one of my favorite recipes as of late that I've perfected over time. I added some things, took out some things, but anyway, let's get into it and I'm gonna show you everything you need to know. So first of all, yes, I'm making banana bread, and yes, maybe it's a cliche thing nowadays to do in quarantine. I don't know, but I've been buying bananas in bulk and then I have a lot of leftover bananas. But anyway, I guess the benefit of it is I can make banana bread or banana cake, whatever you want to call it. So step number one is getting your wet ingredients ready. And what I mean by wet is you just need two combinations, the dry and the wet, and these two you mix them first together and then combine the full thing. You need to turn on the oven, so put it at 175 or 180, more or less, it depends on your oven. So first you take the bananas out and you mush them, and then you add to them the sugar, the coconut oil, and then some plant-based milk, and finally you add a little bit of lemon juice to add a bit of acidity to the recipe. And secondly, you start with your dry ingredients. So you have the flour, the baking powder and baking soda, and then the cinnamon powder. One note about the flour, I'm using a different source of flour. So first I'm using the whole wheat flour that is fine, and adding to that something called wholemeal flour. Alright you guys, so after mixing in the dry ingredients together, we mix the dry ingredient and the wet ingredients to create a certain dough. But when you mix the two, you basically have to be clever, and that's when cooking becomes how can I say, like a passion. This is where you have to get the right consistency. And so as I was mixing in the measured ingredients, sometimes bananas are bigger than what you get before, etc. So really you have to compensate. So when I saw that it was a bit watery, or that the consistency I didn't like as much, I added a little bit more flour, and that created a thicker consistency that you can bake. Because if you have it too wet, it's not gonna be as good, and then if it's too dry, it's not going to be as good either. So you have to create a balance. And so once I got everything to mix, I put it in a lined baking container, or like a bread container, and then I had an extra banana, so I decided to cut it and then slice it in half and then place it, as you see, on top of the loaf. So you guys, the banana bread is in the oven. It's cooking for 45 minutes, up to 55 minutes. Throughout the cooking, I was testing it, and by the end, I got a very dry bread, let's say, which is perfect. Right after, I decided to add the maple syrup right on top, and then put it back in the oven for a little more to develop this glaze. And here is the final product. So unfortunately, you can't eat it right away. You have to wait a little bit. Well, however much you can wait. But here it is. It depends really on your patience. I have a little bit of patience, so I waited. I got a slice, and I'm just taking a bite, let's say. Really, this recipe is so good. The bread is moist. From the outside, it's well crusted, let's say. The spices they hit really well, especially with the mixture of the sugars, and then the mixture of flours. Perfect. Honestly, I can have 5 slices of this. But that is about it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed the day with Abdul. I'll see you guys on the next one.